sitting there going, what? They sparkle. What do you mean they sparkle?
They sparkle!
They sparkle like diamonds, it's pretty, and you're like...
It's so shiny!
We were just like...
Look, you like foil cards in Magic, right?
You've got to be taking the mick. And they're like, no, they genuinely...
It's like, you know, foil vampires.
Foil aristocrats, and call it Twilight.
Yep.
Make a foil aristocrats deck,
you know,
call it Twilight.
I might... Alright, if anyone has appropriate foil vampires, I'm interested.
That's a deck that needs to be hated so very much. Aristocrats that are all foil, so it becomes Twilight.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't know if you could just foil the vampires, maybe, because it's only the vampires that sparkle.
Yeah.
So you just need to. So I need Falcon Aristocrats.
So just the foily aristocrats.
That's just it, isn't it?
Yeah, just the foily aristocrats.
Is Blood Artist?
Blood Artist is a vampire.
Yeah, he needs foiling.
It's the best zombie card in a zombie deck.
Yes, yes. You gotta love zombies, which is mostly
you gotta love
vampire.
a zombie deck where the key card is a vampire. That's.
Yep. Are they both mulliganing or are they still both shuffling?
I think they're both shuffling up. We're getting ready.
People always shuffle more in feature matches. It's a well-known fact.
And it's the final, so you kind of expect it. But it should be interesting.
Well, I'm proud to say I have read the Twilight books, but I'm a girl, so I'm allowed.
You're allowed. Here's an interesting fact. Did you
Luke is
know
also, no, okay.
that 50 Shades of Grey...
Oh, God. You haven't read that, have you?
No, I've not read that yet.
All right.
But 50 Shades of Grey started off as a Twilight fanfiction. They literally... It was a Twilight fanfic that they changed the names around of.
Awesome.
And that's precisely what 50 Shades of Grey was. With some
and it's also very popular, so, you know, is there shiny people in 50 Shades of Grey?
I have no idea, but apparently they're making a movie of them. I've heard.
You can't make a movie of that. It's yeah. Alright, you said it, not me.
Let's be honest.
I read a very interesting article. I can't remember what on earth I was reading. I think someone had linked it to me about whether or not it's wrong to read 50 Shades of Grey in public, because you wouldn't sit if you sat on the bus next to me reading some dirty literature. I wouldn't be very impressed. Is 50 Shades of Grey really that much better?
Emma Watson is the main woman in it.
Emma Watson?
Yeah.
Oh, as featuring in the film?
Yeah.
Well, she's kind of hot.
I might have to watch that. If that's true, I might have to watch the film.
Can't believe they're making a... I haven't read it. Maybe it's not as...
Who knows? They might do it
I thought it was just full of smut.
But anyway, we'll get around to this. Aristocrats activity. The reason why we've gone slightly off topic because we're just waiting for them to draw cards.
Yeah. It's not that exciting. And even then they're going to play lands.
Mulligan to 5.
Ooh, painful. So I think they both mulligan to 6. I think that's what I saw at the corner of my eye.
Oh, I heard she turned it down. No, that's a shame.
Oh, well then.
What a letdown.
Probably because you read the script and I wasn't planning to play in.
I probably should read the book.
Yeah.
What the hell's in there? So yeah, we've got...
When is him? Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So we've
back
got
on topic.
Bant, still reasonably good. So it's got the Arbor Elf.
Naming human off the cavern, probably. He might have named monk, but it seems more useful to have named human.
I can imagine it's probably human. Monk's also, a bit specialised.
Either the cavern or the monk was drawn this turn.
Yeah.
Probably would have played one of them on turn 1. Probably them both on turn 2. So. On turn 1.
And it's getting slipped
tragically. It's going to go away. That is a...
It's tragic.
Yep. Although nothing else from Luke at the moment. That's often actually quite scary from the Aristocrats. So like, so you have a handful of Boros Reckoners and Falcorath Aristocrats and Lingering Souls.
So we've got a Farseek in. So Paul is kind of levelling out his deck. He's getting the nice land bits down.
Yeah, yeah. Luke's not applying any pressure, which Aristocrats really needs to do in this matchup, I think. Yeah. The ones I won, I had a nice... I wouldn't say curved, but, you know, you got in there. But obviously the 3 and 4 drops away the power play as well for decks. So.
It needs to sort of make the Bant player react.
You need to get Bant to 13 and then you can win.
Yeah, that does it. That works.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen. We saw it happen in the quarterfinal.
Oh, I was doing some testing the other day, and I had 2 Boros Reckoners down.
That's mean.
Yeah.
That is mean.
Yeah. Yeah. They'd even gain 3 life.
They've gained 3 life.
Wasn't good enough.
The 4 restos he has in hand. Yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
He what he needs to do is if he gets that last land and plays a Thragtusk and then has the 3 restos in hand.
That's pretty good.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Why would this guy playing Aristocrats keep a slow hand knowing he's playing against Bant?
Well, I said I think they both mulliganed. I think he mulliganed to 6.
Yeah, he's still mulliganed to 6, so he's gone with a...
It doesn't mulligan that well. Like, probably better than the Bant deck, to be fair, because you get, like, Angel of Serenity stuck in your hand or whatever, but...
So he's got 5 mana.
Yeah.
If he top deck a Thragtusk...
But he didn't play anything with his 5 mana.
No.
So...
Like I said, he's got 4... Well, he's got, apparently, Restos in his hand. So, in theory, if he top decks the Thragtusk, plays Thragtusk this turn, passes... and then just goes resto.
That would be fine.
That's just a ridiculous.
And then so we've got Cartel Aristocrat, and is that a Skursdag High Priest? That card's pretty fleet. Especially
we've banned him now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But the resto comes in.
Resto comes in, but if that is, I really can't tell from the glare. Is it?
It's a Reckoner, and it looks.
I think it's if it's Skursdag High Priest, this
looks
game
like a
is looking
Skursdag.
pretty good because.
That's pretty good.
Oh, so the Bant deck I played against had an edge over this one post board because he had Supreme Verdicts.
Yeah.
And that was. Like, Wraths aren't the best against Aristocrats, but you kind of need about 3 or 4 creatures to be really going on something, you know, whether it's Skursdag High Priest or setting up for a big Blood Artist mass death or whatever.
So we've now got the token fodder.
Excellent. So we'll be making bigger tokens from our smaller tokens.
The Rakdos, not the Rakdos, the Reckoner swung through, obviously untouched, because you're not going to touch the Reckoner realistically.
Yeah.
And now we have double resto.
Yeah, but this is looking pretty good for Luke.
Yeah.
Which is how I'd expect game 1 to go. Yeah. And as I said, without the Wraths and the board, maybe that's the problem. That is maybe the difference between the 2 Bant decks I played.
So we've got an acidic slime.
Yeah, see, it's just not that great against Aristocrats. Do you care?
It's far too late at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously this is pre-board. You've got to run with what you've got, but
you've got to run with what you've got. Lots of resto.
That's why you board them out, not in.
So he's already used to the resto. So even at this stage, the slime is not really that useful.
Yep. Shame that doesn't trigger Morbid though.
No, but the sacking the
Spirit Will,
Spirit Will,
Here
giving him his lovely demon.
I forgot to bring my demon tokens today, which I think is why it all went wrong.
Yeah, that's
I had to use Owen Turtlemore tokens, which just aren't the same.
No, not the same.
No.
Oh, he's got a really nice one as well.
Yeah,
I like that one.
that's the good up.
Yeah.
Although I quite like the one that's on the other side of the angel.
Yeah.
And then you can look super prepared. Yeah.
So you can sit there and you show the angel tokens.
So they think you're playing Guys to Suit Trap, and then you're like, haha, playing Aristocrats.
And that's, Blood Artist as well.
Ow, yeah.
That is a lovely...
See, now this is what my first round of versus Bants looked like.
Do you reckon he flashes in the second Lingering Souls? Because, obviously, Blood Artist is on the field, and even if he does board wipe, it will do a chunk of damage to him.
Because you've got...
And it gives you more fodder for the...
Yeah, but if he's...
You can do that anyway, because
I don't think you're going to need to, actually, to be honest. Oh, playing the other Skursdag High Priest. Again, not necessary, but what are you expecting from Bant? And the thing is, keeping a High Priest in hand isn't actually that useful.
No. So, Thragtusk comes down.
Yeah.
It's a little bit late for the Thragtusk, unfortunately.
Well, it's a little bit too late for this board today. What is Bant going to do here? Let's be honest.
Not a massive amount. Serenity might cause a bit of a problem.
Well, not at this point, because now that he's got 2 High Priests, he's going to make 2 5/5 demons every time.
Yeah, but he might choose the High Priest as targets for Serenity.
Oh, he did only have 1 red source, so the Acidic Slime has been slightly more useful than you might expect. I think that's 2 Godless Shrines.
I think it's double Godless.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a Clifftop Retreat.
It might be.
I don't know. Anyway, worry about it when he draws Blasphemous Act.
Yeah. In fairness, it doesn't need the Blasphemous Act at this point because
the demon tokens are going to get
well. It's the spirit. You can block my spirit token if you want. I'm going to make a demon out of it at some point.
Yeah. It's just like recycle it into a 5/5 demon.
Yeah. So it's fairly sort of. And sure enough, the spirit token dies. Blood Artist triggers. I'll slowly kill you by recycling all of my tokens.
It's not even that slow at this point. I mean, he can just sack his board and do like a bunch. Not that you're going to, because if something horrible goes wrong at the end.
He like sneaks in a Sphinx's Revelation.
Yeah, super awkward. Yeah, I had one earlier where I was like, alright, I can kill you unless... He had like 4 lands. I was like, unless you've got Sphinxes, and then you Sphinx for 1, and I look really dumb. Alright, we've now got... 3 demons.
5 demons.
Yeah.
Plenty of mana.
A Reckoner that's going to do some amount of damage at some point.
And it's the fact that you can just go, I'm going to swing with the demon, sack the demon, bring another one back.
It's when you've got 2 high priests and you're just using the new demon to make another demon. It's just like...
It's just...
Yeah. Well, that was how I've seen my games go.
That's how Aristocrats should play.
Yeah.
That's how Act 2 works.
I mean, if that's, you know, if Luke can find that draw again... There's not much Bant's going to do against it.
I don't think there's a massive amount in the Bant sideboard that can deal with that.
I mean, Celestial Charm doesn't even deal with Falcon Aristocrats, does it? Because it's too small. Unless, of course, a human.
Yeah, there's really not a massive amount he has.
Probably bring in the life gain and the draw spells. I guess, because it will.
I think it'll probably take out the acidic slimes.
Yeah, and 2 acidic slimes definitely gone.
Possibly replacing them with the Centaur healers.
Clones don't seem that great here.
No.
I might put the Sphinx's Revelations over them, because drawing cards is good.
Yeah.
And probably the Feeling of Dread for the Rock Safe Mender, just because it's a body, and I'm not excited by tapping 1/1s. Especially if I just tap them in response to
I'll tap it in response. It's really quite redundant.
Or just sack it to Aristocrat or something. Yeah.
It's not looking brilliant for the Bant deck, I don't think.
Yeah, and so I imagine Aristocrats doesn't have much to bring in against Bant.
Does he not have a Silk Clash Spider?
No, that was...
does not.
That was the other deck, unfortunately.
That was the other deck had Silk Clash.
Which would have been good.
It would have been very useful in this situation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. The Bant does not have any real way of dealing with 5/5 demons.
Yeah. I mean, Angel of Serenity is basically his ace in the hole, but it's 7 mana, and the Aristocrats, as we saw, can...
should be going by then.
Yeah.
Realistically.
So what's the... Aristocrats deck got if it wants to bring in anything? I mean, Obsidat is pretty hard for them to deal with.
Possibly the sort of games to get rid of the Serenities. Just as a sort of... I feel that's the only way that you're going to deal with it.
That's your only answer,
I can just get rid of it before it gets a chance to play. It's reasonable against Aristocrat. It's not
reasonable,
brilliant,
but I'd take it out for... pretty much anything else.
Primarily the main reason it's primarily good is because you can always do stuff with them in response. There's a lot of tapping stuff in response, and once you've got a high priest, or especially if you've got 2 high priests on the field at the time, you can just go, oh, you're going to tap it down, I'll sack it to make it.
You can not have the high priest draw, but then you're buying. I guess it might buy you enough time to get your
Sever the Bloodline. He does not run it.
No, it's Bant, not the reanimated deck.
It's not the reanimated. The Bant deck doesn't have Sever, obviously.
Unless you're talking about the bringing it in for the Aristocrats, they do not have Sever either.
They don't run it either.
No.
Like I said, there's not really a massive amount that I'd put in.
No, I might be tempted by the Obsidats and the Slaughter Games. Obsidat, because they
Bant doesn't deal with Obsidats.
No.
Selesnya Charms, maybe. Yes, Selesnya Charms maybe for the Bant deck. It deals with the tokens.
It does deal with... but if you're dealing with tokens, then...
It's not a good matchup, but it's always nice to sort of deal...
Selesnya Charm does deal with Obstat.
Selesnya Charm does deal with that. It's one of the few cards, actually, that does deal with Obstat.
Yeah. But then you're in the awkward situation of knowing to sideboard against something that they're sideboarding.
So you're anticipating a sideboard move.
Although you can always use it.
Sever the Bloodline.
You can always use to you can always use it to make a 2/2 in the early game, just to trade off with a Cartel Aristocrat or something if they get foolish. But
certainly could. Yeah. It also has the trample ability as well.
Yeah.
So it has its uses. I think he's going to put in the Selesnya Charms. It's just a nice card to have in the deck.
Yeah, it's a utility card, isn't it? And also
in Aristocrats, Tragic Slip is already the best removable ever anyone in the format has. Yeah, Aristocrats deals with Obsidat pretty well.
Yeah. Aristocrats can deal with Obsidat. That's fine.
With most things, pretty reasonably.
I spent a lot of time Tragic Slipping Boros Reckoners today.
Yeah.
A lot of time it's like, no.
If only there was a way I could deal with you without dealing damage. Yeah. Oh look, you've fallen over. Bye bye. Have fun with that.
It's gone. It's interesting what you take out of the Aristocrats deck.
Like I said, in fairness, with the thing is, it's one of these situations that if it ain't broke...
Yeah. What does Orzhov Charm do for the deck?
Orzhov Charm...
I might board that out.
It reanimates stuff like the High Priests.
Yeah.
So you can reanimate some of the important ones like Blood Artists or High Priests. And that's pretty much...
So I'm probably going to board it. You can kill stuff that's less than... No, you can kill anything, but it loses you life?
We'll bring it up.
Yeah.
On my...
on your magic device that's called a laptop.
Yeah. Right. So
there's the reanimate a small thing.
Got choose one. Return target creature you control and all areas you control to its owner's hand. So it's a bounce effect.
Yeah.
Destroy target creature and you lose life equal to its toughness.
So it is a...
Yeah, it's a piece of removal.
Any removal spell, yeah.
Or return a creature card with converted mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
I'm probably going to board that out for one of those, probably for the Obsidat.
Yeah.
For an Obsidat.
Ever Tragic slipped a huge Zigana as it enters the battlefield. Pretty fun. I can imagine it is.
Yes,
pretty good.
Yes, I imagine it is. Unfortunately, the only time I had the chance to do that today, they had the Conclave's Blessing or whatever it was, so I wouldn't have been good enough. And I couldn't find anything to... sacrifice. I didn't have any sack outlets. So
unlucky.
Yeah.
See, I like the Aristocrats deck. I like the sack engine.
It's got so much going on, hasn't it?
It's an interesting deck to play. It's one of those where it's interesting, but it's still really playable.
Yeah.
Because you usually find it's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's either really interesting and does reasonably okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, perhaps.
Plays really well, but is rather boring.
Yeah.
Whereas Aristocrats is quite a nice mix of the two.
Yeah.
So I like Aristocrats, and I think it gives people a lot of grief. It gives a lot of the big meta games a lot of grief.
Yeah. And it's as discussing this with an opponent earlier. It's one of those decks that I immediately underestimate, and then when I play it, I'm just like, wow, there's so much stuff. I did exactly the same thing with Delver, because you look at the cards in Delver and you go,
what?
It's not that great, and then you play it and you see all the interactions, all the options, and I'm sure I never saw all of them, if you see what I mean, but it's just like, wow, there's a lot going on, and it's the same with this deck. It's not blue, but...
I remember last season when I was playing against Delver, and I looked at the Delver match and went, I can take Delver, this will be a walk. And then you play it, and after a few turns you sit there and go, I haven't got a chance against this deck. It's got an answer to literally everything I want to play. Especially at its peak when it had the Ponders and the Snowcasters, and then it just starts getting silly.
Yeah, it was a silly deck. I was actually terrible with it. That's why I invented a deck that countered it.
That works.
Yeah, don't Grave Elder.
I never played I never played Delver as my deck. It was just never something I wanted to play.
Yeah, it was a deck I admired watching people that were really good with it.
I'm not going to be that guy to play Delver.
One of those beautiful skill games, if you know what you're doing, which I didn't.
If someone's playing it properly, it looks amazing because it all works really well.
Yeah.
But
I can't see what's going on. What's going on?
We've got
What's
to reload
happening?
the video up.
But they started playing.
I think we saw a Temple Garden come down, and that was about as far as it went.
It could be over by now.
It could be over. Unlikely.
People tell us if it's over. I don't know.
Well,
it's all gone horribly black. Okay, it's okay.
So we've got
Aristocrat and
an Aristocrat.
2 Cartel Aristocrats. Yeah.
Yep, 2 cartels.
That's the Rock Slave Mender.
There we go. Slave Mender hits in. But again, doesn't really do a great deal with...
No, but it's a nice roadblock, and if you get a Fragtus, they don't do well with 10 life game.
It's a nice life gain deck, you know. Play 5, gain 10 life. No one's ever going to complain about that. And you get a 5/3 creature as well.
Yeah.
Double fun.
Oh. Someone who normally plays aggro that just makes me cry.
Then you have Trostani on the field and just laugh at people.
Oh.
We're back, we've got it back now. So we've got double cartel against a Faith Mender.
Yep. Which is kind of like attack for nothing.
Yeah.
Not the best. Hopefully we're going to put something else down. There's a Boros Reckoner. Oh,
we are going to...
Mark of Mutiny.
He blocked...
A Mark of Mutiny is in the board.
That works.
Yeah, but now he's made the Rock's Faith Mender bigger. Oh, he's going to sack it.
He's going to sack it with the cartel. Sorry, what deck do you play?
Well, I only played it today. Oh, I'm so stupid. Sometimes. Look. I've played lots of standard. I've played a draft. I commentated one match fairly competently. I mean, what more do you want?
Was it? What, the match where we basically watched Paul blow up the opponent's field of land base?
Yeah, that one.
Well, that's that game sorted. That's a High Priest?
No, that's a Falcon Wrath.
Falcon Wrath.
That card's so good.
That's swinging for 8.
Although I disapprove of these people playing merciless evictions in their sideboard.
It's not nice.
No.
Look at this. This is down to 4 already. This is getting scary. And that
is it, everybody. We barely got back in time for that, didn't we?
Luke basically walks the second game with Aristocrats.
Yep.
The second act.
So in conclusion, our sample size says that Aristocrats destroys Bant.
Better than Bant.
As long as it's not playing
destroys Bant based off our 3 games.
As long as it's not playing Collective Blessing and Supreme Verdicts in the board.
Yeah.
Bant, you might want to consider boarding some Wraths. Actually, don't consider boarding some Wraths. I take that back. It's terrible, terrible card.
Terrible card. Terrible card. You don't want that. Say that again. Yeah, go for it. So congratulations to Luke Southworth, who with Aristocrats Act 2 has successfully won the PTQ Theros in Sheffield. Won the Pro Tour qualifier, gets to go on.
Well, I was playing the right deck, wasn't I?
You were playing the right deck. You were on the right lines.
Just didn't quite get there.
Get as far as
I'll get some more practice, and I'll be winning the one next week.
Creatures. So. Remember that one? That's
Shut up.
It's a good thing to remember, yeah? So yeah, well done, Luke.
Yep. Yeah, good work. All right, well, thanks for letting me join you.
No problem. Thank you for coming in and joining us for the top 4.
Yep, just thought I'd come in at the end, when everyone else has gone home, because my lift's doing head judge. So.
There you go. Well,
I was hoping to get in today, but then I got distracted by the Chinese Gate Trash draft.
Chinese Gate Trash?
Yeah, Chinese Gate Trash draft.
Did you have to play it in Chinese so you couldn't know what all the cards
were? Awesome. So I don't know what's in my prizes yet. I had to leave after the final to come and commentate.
So you sit there and went, I'll play this card. What does it do? No idea.
No idea. There were a couple of cards. I did draft 3 forced adaptations because I thought they were best of strength. They look really similar in the picture as well. I didn't first pick them or anything, it's fine. They were all late picks, but I was just like, it wasn't until one came around late and packed for and I went, oh.
Oh dear.
It's not what I thought it was.
No.
Awkward.
That is a little bit awkward.
Still got to the finals. It's fine.
Can't complain about that in slightest. So you get a decent bit of prize of Chinese cards.
Yep.
Which go for a reasonable amount these days. People like having the foreign Chinese.
Yeah, I like especially like the Asian languages like Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a word for the pictographic.
Pictographic based sort of characters rather than our lame alphabet. But yeah, I mean I have in my modern deck I have Chinese Inquisition of Kozilek and stuff.
I did have to resist the foil Chinese Enter the Infinite.
Oh.
Because there was like a Rumble Halt, which was much better for my deck.
I might have actually had to have stolen that for my Omnidor deck.
It's beautiful. I mean, I've seen one in foil before. It's still beautiful because it's Therese Nelson art. And it's just. I almost took it.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
But then you realise it's useless in 99% of all decks.
Yeah. But I was passing to my friend. I was like, it's alright, he'll take it. No. Rubbish. I didn't will. Not like the contaminated ground. I willed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. That's what.
Foil Chinese contaminated ground.
Yeah. Check that out. That's going to see play all the time.
I felt really bitter then because I had 6 rares. I was like, that's pretty good. Then none of them were worth anything. Well, I did get a Firemain Avenger, but and it's just like the guy opposite me plays Boros Reckoner. There's 2 Shocklands and a foil Shockland.
Oh, top notch. Right.
Good work, Luke. Woo!
So we're going to have a chat with Luke Southworth, the winner of the PTQ Theros in Sheffield. Thank you again.
Thank you.
So, come here, Luke. So just put the headset on and we'll have a bit of a chat. Yeah. You get to chill out here in the booth briefly. Well done.
Thank you.
we saw the first game and we were like, oh, this is getting pretty close. And then game 2 was just like, yeah, I'll just walk this. I got this sorted. All right, lads, I got this. You must have been pretty happy with how that...
I'm ecstatic. I mean, I feel fairly bad. I mean, both my semi-final opponent and my final opponent suffered off mulligans, so it's not like I had sort of like full strength games against me. So I mean, I've certainly been fortunate, but I'm obviously pretty over the moon.
Yeah. What made you choose the Aristocrats Act 2 deck to take today?
It looked like the most fun deck I could find in the format that was reasonably positioned.
Yeah.
I've been looking over stuff, and like Junk Reanimator seemed like it wasn't strong enough to be a legitimate best deck in the format. Since everybody was starting to main deck hate for it, I didn't think it was good enough. And the other decks were either inconsistent or dull, or like everything had a shot, but I didn't think anything was, like truly the deck to beat. And then I saw the Aristocrats version when Brad Nelson ran it in the Star City the other week, and Jake Van Luden won a PTQ with it. And it looked a ton of fun. It looked like it rewarded like skillful Magic as opposed to look for a lot of it. So I appreciate that.
We were really impressed. I mean, the game one where you had the double High Priest, we were there just going, well, this is just going to get silly at this point.
Yeah, well, that's the first time. Well, it's only the second time I've made any Demons this tournament, but it's the first time I've gone. I was kind of sort of holding back a bit, and then he was like started putting everything he had onto the board. So it was like, right, he's clearly not about to Supreme Verdict to me, so I might as well just go all in and just start smashing face with it.
I mean,
it's so difficult to stop the engine once it's online.
Were you what decks were you really worried about, or were you worried about anything at all, or did you just think, Aristocrats?
Well, the Esper deck was a concern. I know I've got a pretty bad game one against it, I think, but post board, I mean, I think the sideboard plan for Esper post board, I mean, with the extra Cavern of Souls in there, with the big guys that are difficult to deal with, I think it's stronger than the previous tokens plan, and it does. Well, I mean, I never got to play against it, so I don't know if I'm even right. I could be totally wrong, and I could have got crushed by it every time I played against it, but I dodged it. But I mean, like for the most part, I thought it was fairly good against most of the field. I mean, a deck with like Doom Traveller, Lingering Souls, and Boros Reckoner always seemed really good against the aggro parts of the field. And I thought like Falkenrath Aristocrat is such a difficult card to deal with that I felt the deck just had so many different angles of attack that it was really difficult to play against. And I thought a lot of people wouldn't know exactly how to attack it properly either, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of those where it's there's no definitive target that you need to hit. I mean, when you look at things like Bant, you go, oh, there's Angels of Serenity. They've got these big cards that you go, I have to kill this creature.
Well, I mean, that's the one concession I made, because like I'll be honest, I mostly just stole the list. It's not like it's my invention. But the one thing I did add was the Slaughter games to the sideboard, and they turned out useful. I mean, I won a match against Wolf and Bant on the basis of just taking out, taking out the win conditions basically, and just, it makes the match feel a lot safer. I was playing against the blue-white-red deck, and I think I mulled 5 or 6 that match, but I managed to double Slaughter games and take out the Harvest Pyre when he had Boros Reckoner on board, and then take out the Sphinx's Revelations to stop him racing my Falkenrath Aristocrats basically.
Awesome. I mean, did you was most of your games fairly straightforward today, or did you have any decks that you really struggled with against today?
I don't know really. I mean, it's my mind started to blank a bit. I'm obviously
it's alright.
Pretty excited. But I mean, there were certainly some tough games. I mean, going right back to the very first round of the tournament, I played against a Jund aggro deck, which I hadn't tested against or considered, and that took a game off me, and it was really, really close in game 3. If I'd lost that, the whole day would have gone very differently. My loss came to the red, white, black deck. It was more of the aggro with Unbury Rights. I've got a feeling it won a PTQ and a WMCQ in Finland or something like that.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, but that's what beat me. Robert Tinsley took that off me pretty straightforward, and I don't know how I'd have done if I'd pulled against him in the top 8. Let's put it that way.
Well, in fairness, you still did well, and you've won a PTQ.
I'm pretty excited. I've got a blue envelope.
Lovely blue envelope.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Look at that, eh? It's good. It should be good for you. Well, we hope you do well. Your win will probably sink in in a day or two. You're like, oh man, I won a PT.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of people congratulating you. Got Blake and Judge.
Well, it's I like the fact that people recognise me from my stream name rather than from my Twitch name rather than my actual name, which is pretty cool.
So you got a lot of people
the one that uses Faithless Fluting as an engine responding to the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that beat me.
Oh, that's the one that got through you. Ah, yeah. I saw that one. It was a really nice deck. It obviously skipped a hurdle at some point during the day.
Yeah.
But it's good. So congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Hope you do well at the Pro Tour.
So do I. Shock me.
Well, we'll hear how you've sort of walked across everyone in the Pro Tour when you go there with your Aristocrats.
Well, it'll be modern, so I'm not taking the Aristocrats. I think it's modern anyway.
Have you thought about potentially what you might take to a modern PT?
Well, I top forward the PTQ in Glasgow. Oh, sorry, in Dundee at the end of the last season with Blue White Red Splinter Twin. I mean,
white for Splinter Twin.
The white is for the Restoration Angels.
Ah, yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun deck. I'll see what Dragon's Maze brings though. It's like I can't know what I'm going to run yet.
Certainly.
But yeah, Dublin should be a lot of fun. I'm very happy with myself
there. From here.
I want to thank my team, as it were, because without the guys in Preston at Harlequins, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. So yeah.
Good stuff.
He'd yell at me if I didn't say something like that. I've got the T-shirt on.
You didn't mention us.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be ungrateful. I borrowed some cards.
It was all me. No one needed help. It was just me all the way.
Exactly.
But no, it's nice to know that you sort of obviously remembered that your team's helped you.
Yeah, absolutely. Borrowed cards all over the place.
Good. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we'll hopefully see you at the Pro Tour, kicking ass, taking names.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right, man.
Right, cheers.
No problem. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the PTQ Theros here from Sheffield, brought to you by Patriot Games, and I've been the Bear. Thank you to all the people who covered with me. So Carrie, obviously in the top 4, Ryan, who helped me through most of the day, Matt Light, James Tim, all the folks who came in to cover with us, Swags. So it's been really good fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We will at some point be uploading these obviously as permanent videos onto Twitch. We'll be separating them round by round so that you can watch them, just the one-off games if you want to go back and look at stuff. And with that, I believe that's everything. So thank you again for listening. Thank you for sort of taking part in the chat and having fun. It's been good fun for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So hopefully we'll see you all guys very soon at a future Magic event. So from me, see ya and take care, everybody.